Good morning. Holy craps. It's Thirsty Thursday. We just got finished with Wow Wednesday. And Wednesday was definitely a wow factor. We had all types of stuff going on. All types of stuff, right? All types of things going on yesterday. It was definitely a wow Wednesday, is what I would like to say. Thirsty Thursday, right? And I know we got a lot of juicy stuff coming up today, right? For the record, guess what? I tried to change my hair and that made me late. So blame it on the hair day. And did come back, and I'm like, okay, I could blame it on the hair day, but the hair day fixer up didn't work. So I'm like, okay, let me just throw it back down. Oh gosh. I was like, throw it back down. Oh my goodness. Like, no, we got to get started, right? For Thirsty Thursday. Wow, oh, wow, oh, wow, wow. Thank you, Benny. Good morning. I was like, this morning, I was like, oh gosh, I think I woke up too early. I think I woke up too early. It's like 30 minutes too early. I probably need to go lay down, lay back down. And I'm like, no, no, no. If you lay back down, you're gonna oversleep. Stay up. How you doing this morning? How's everybody doing this morning, for that matter of fact? Everybody. I'm doing great. It's Thursday. It's so you get strike if you do music. I'm clapping back. We get strike if we do music. Boy, oh boy, I would love to play some music. That's my intro. But I have to make the beat up in my head and do my little dances to let y'all know that I'm excited. It's Thirsty Thursday. Look, I'm about to say it's the Apollo at tonight. Oh gosh, I got all types of songs in my head. I was about to remix my song up in this joint. Boy, oh boy. So we are definitely at Take It to Trial, where there's no filters, no fluff, where we just present straight facts, right? And sometimes I stand corrected, right? No harm, no foul. And there's a lot of information out there, but that is definitely our goal here, and we kind of stick to it. Music is the key, right? For real, right? That's why we need like I'm gonna have somebody make a beat for us so we could be like coming on into the stream like it going out. I'm gonna work on it. That's what I can tell you. So I definitely want to give you y'all recap from yesterday, right? I know court is in session. I know everybody is excited for the Karina Cooper case, right? Because we are in a defense portion, right? And we about to go to the jury. Boom. And all I can say for that is boom. It's about to get started. Right? So let's see here. Let me make sure this is all up and running. I assume you can hear me good. Let's see. That's about the best music I got. Did you hear that, Benny? That's about the best I got. I got my Mickey D's coffee. Benny, you got your tea? Ooh, Benny is gonna be great. Absolutely great. Great. This is what you've been waiting for, is what I could tell you. This is what you've been waiting for. I must have knew. Something must have told me of what we had in store today. But I'm not going to tell you. I can't tell you. I got to keep the suspense going. Okay. I ain't gonna keep playing around. Let me do our recap so we can get in the courtroom because it is Thirsty Thursday and I am thirsty as hell. Awesome. So yesterday in our recap from Karina Cooper's case, we heard from Houston Danker's friend, right? He was on the stand and he basically stated that Danker, he was moving in with his girlfriend. She had a daycare. So he wanted his friend to hold these guns. Come to find out that one of the guns was the gun that was involved in the incident. Right? So we have a murder weapon. We got to see the murder weapon itself. We heard from the forensic criminalist that showed us how the casings that were found at the home with Ryan and the fire pin, like everything matched up. She showed us which ones did not match with those three guns, and she also showed us how she concluded that there was a match, right? So with that being said, we have the murder weapon. I'm just trying to make sure I cover everything. Like I'm ready to get us in the courtroom, but in the same token, I want to give I want to give us the recap so we can know what we doing here, right? We also heard it from a detective yesterday that testified how the chain of custody, which provided the chain of custody for the guns. We heard from a digital criminalist yesterday that explained how the Snapchat messages were hidden off the towers where Danker was at with his phone. She even testified to the fact that Karina had deleted her Snapchat messages. There wasn't much cross-examination in any of these processes, nothing to be like concerning or alarming. We did hear from the medical examiner yesterday that just kind of confirmed what we already knew. He was shot twice at close range in the face with this 22 long rifle gun. And boy, it was a long rifle gun, right? So that's basically the update in that case. The prosecution did rest. So we are in a defense case in chief, right? And everybody wants to know if Karina's going to testify. What is the defense going to put up? We already know that their opening statements, they said Houston Danker, right? And they blamed it on him. Instead, Karina was just in La La Land. Yeah, Seek identified the Ruger 1022 as one of the firearms, and he said he kept the guns in his home closet until turning them over to law enforcement in spring of 2024. Right, Benny. Absolutely. Yep. That is correct. Yeah, I'm like, I guess, of course, when we get in the courtroom, we'll get in the courtroom, but y'all know I'm trying to get us in there, right? So sorry. I probably should just slow down and take my time and go through all the stuff because I got, all the stuff right for the most part. I say for the most part. Okay, she says Randall also reviewed records showing that Karina Cooper had a permit to carry a weapon issued in 2016, which did not require her to have ever fired a weapon. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't even have rent. I must have. I don't know. I believe you. I definitely believe you. I definitely believe you in that. With that being said, so now I guess with today, we're just waiting on a defense to see what kind of case they're gonna put in. They probably are gonna do a motion to acquit her, right? Saying that there's not enough evidence or something. So in that regards, it's probably going to be denied, right? Because there is enough evidence in order to send this to the jury to let them decide whether she'll receive life in prison for the murder of Ryan. But the evidence is like piling up. I think that the prosecution laid out a good case. I think that they're experts as far as the blood splatter and definitely with the gun and showing how the gun was found, that directly ties Houston to the case. And Benny is putting updates in the chat if anybody wants to look at exactly which each person testified to. Right? She said Joanna Berry. Now this is a good. Yeah, I definitely okay. DTI criminalist. She testified to the use of the Blue Star at Danker's residence to search for trace amounts of blood, and positive reactions were observed on the entryway carpet and the kitchen floor. But I don't think any of that was. I don't think it came back to anything. Correct. The carpet and the rugs were collected and swabbed, and they were sent to the DNA section. But I don't think they came back with anything stating that it was identifiable to a person, right, Benny, or no? Okay. I didn't think so. Okay, cool. So if you want to look at any of the updates in regards to any of the specific witnesses, as I say, Benny, our so wonderful moderator, she has put everything, who testified, what their important points were in regards to their testimony from yesterday in the Karina Cooper's trial. The next one that we should talk about that's pretty important, right, is our bench trial, right? We went in, we did the bench trial with Ali Yunus, the college student that is now being charged with attempted murder, right? So yesterday we heard from the cell phone data for his phone, right, showing where he was at in his location. We also heard from a criminalist by the last name of Lord. I want to get her first name right. I want to say it's Christy. I think it's Christy. Don't quote me on that. I should probably get that information. I'm gonna tell y'all who she is, because it's so funny, because she also testified in Karina's case. You know, they right down the street from each other. And that's the real funny part about it, is that they're right down the street from each other. So she just came down the street and testified in Ali's case after she got finished testifying in Karina's case. So she's been a busy girl this week. Let me get her name. I thought I wrote it down, but I must have typed it in our banner pretty fast yesterday when I did it. Bradley. Let's see. And I definitely got it. Give me a second. Tiffany. Her name is Tiffany. So Tiffany, she is the forensic examiner who testified about the data on his phone and the pings, right? So we heard from Tiffany yesterday. We also heard from some university police detectives yesterday. We got to see the interview with Ali, and we heard the detective really trying to convince Ali to draw it, say it, tell him what happened that night. You know, Ali kind of claimed in the in the interview that he hey, good morning, Pretty Brown. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Which oh, you're fine. You're fine. Um, so he was testifying. He was just on the stand just to kind of get the video and evidence. Because remember, the judge is reviewing all this. So we didn't see the entire interview of Ali, but we did see the parts that were important, right? Where Ali was kind of like, you know, I did something, but kind of not really like saying everything. He mentioned in regards to him seeing the lady and his story, kind of, I could see some inconsistencies in his story in regards to, I don't want inconsistencies, but it was like little details that he was leaving out and then later coming back and fulfilling back in. Like it was like an hour long interview, and the police officer, the university police officer, because remember this happened on the college campus. He was just like slowly trying to walk him into it. It was like almost like he was trying to seduce him during the interview. So we listened to that interview. Then we had a friend that he communicated with on Snapchat. And Ali actually mentioned to this friend that he wanted to unalive somebody and run off to Mexico. So they were able to get that evidence in, even though the defense did not want the judge to consider it. We also heard from a roommate that recognized, that testified to that Ali did not come home the night of the incident, and also identifying Ali as the person that was on the hawk alert that was sent out on campus when the incident occurred to Ann, the victim. He also testified to the jacket, right? Because we have this puffer jacket with the red, white, and blue. It's very distinctive, very noticeable. Yeah, multiple police departments. You say you're gonna tell all this stuff. You say, I'm gonna put all this. Benny said she gonna put all this stuff in the chat, girl. Get in the courtroom. She said, forget all that. Get in the courtroom. We can recap this stuff later. So then the long story short, bench trial, prosecution rest, defense asks for acquittal, defense rest, right? Well, I should say defense was denied, defense rest. We don't have a verdict. Judge is reviewing all the information. I'll get an alert with the verdict. I will bring the verdict directly to you. We'll watch it together, see what the judge does. And I don't know when, right? We heard 10 days, 10 days for this, 20 days for that, 10 days for this. So we talk about a month time, but keep a notification bell on and you'll definitely get it, right? Okay. Let's go and go see our handsome judge, right, Benny? I'm going to take you into the courtroom. You have not missed a minute of testimony or anything today, as usual, right? Because I got us all the way together. But more importantly, as we have breaks and stuff today, I will just go ahead and touch back on the different things regarding the trials and updates and things like that. That I wanted to cover. Hey, Kevin, good morning. Welcome. Welcome to Thirsty Thursday. Yeah, Thirsty Thursday is what we have named it. You not rushing me? Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, girl, your judge is on the bench and he do not have his robe on. Look at there. I'll show you his. I'll let you get a little glimpse. before I hit play. There he go. There he go. Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Judge. Gotta talk sweet to him. Good morning, Judge. Kevin Spacey. You see, Benny was smiling when that judge came up there. Good morning, Judge. Gotta be real sweet to the judge. Good morning. Good morning to you. Let's see here. Oh, I'll tell you. I am going to put this up here. No, we won't put that one up there. I don't know which one I'm gonna put up there. We'll put something up there at some point in time. He's terrible. Love him. I know, right? Okay, guys, I am going to go ahead and mute up, put us right into the courtroom, get some things set up, put some watch out for the chat. I definitely am gonna load us up with some questions. You know me, emoji questions, right? Okay, guys, let's go in. We got some fireworks happening today. Welcome to Thursdays that take it to trial. There is no sound. Don't worry. I don't have it muted this time. I just figured we just look at the judge for a little bit. We'll just look at him for a little bit, see what he got going on. Wait for him to turn on the mic. Yeah, rub on it. He rubbing. He ain't even put on his robe yet. We call him all and all. He probably don't even know the camera's on in the courtroom, y'all. He probably like, what's taking him so long? Okay, now he gone from. Okay, well I'm gonna go past this part. He ain't up there. Maybe he want to go get his robe. I thought he was gonna sit there for a minute, but nope. Oh, okay. Here we go. Wait a minute. Can y'all hear? Because I can't hear nothing on my end, and I don't know why. Let me see. Unless they don't have the microphone on. Can y'all hear anything besides me? Let me make sure. Because I would have thought he would have said something right then. Wait a minute. Yeah, he's saying something in the mic. Wait a minute.
And then Ms. Cooper, for the record, please give us your first name and your last
Okay,
name.
wait a
Spell them
minute.
both.
Let me get this together. Because we having a whole conundrum here. I think my let me change this. It's coming out of the wrong part. I tell you, Thirsty Thursdays, know it's Thirsty Thursdays, and now it's taking me through all this stuff. Wait a minute. Let me get it through the right speakers, because it is not coming through the right speakers. And we probably gonna have all types of issues if I keep it through the way you had it. The way I had it. So wait a minute. Settings. I don't know how this even changed. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I had no clue that that it changed. That's so weird. That's so weird. Wait a minute now. Let me see. Like, I usually come in and everything is kind of like set up because I don't really change anything. But now I have some changes and I have to kind of like think about how to work through this. Wait a minute. Let me look up here. I'm sorry, guys. I truly, truly apologize. I have no clue why this is going through this like this. So I have to kind of like find out how to get it back there. I tell you, ain't nothing like having no doggone audio issues, right? No. I don't even know. I'm like confused. I am really like confused. Wait a minute. Just trying to see what is this going on. I'm just making sure everything is plugged in like it's supposed to be. And Chrome. Okay, this is probably gonna be my best way of doing this. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I just have to do the speakers today. Wait a minute. I would like for this to work, but I mean, if it's not working, let me see if I can unplug and connect it. Give me a second. I am going to I'm gonna mute up. Let me go on the backup.
Cooper, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you'll be giving in these proceedings will be the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay. And then, Ms. Cooper, for the record, please give us your first name and your last name and spell them both.
Karina Cooper, K. Karinacooper, P as in Paul, ER.
All right. Ms. Watt.
Karina, how old are you?
I'm 48.
Where'd you grow up?
Dysart, Iowa.
I want to hear the story about your relationship with Ryan, okay? When did you meet Ryan?
I met Ryan in 2005. in the summer of 2006.
When did you guys get married?
We got married September of 2009.
Do you have children together?
We have 4 children total. One is Ryan from his first marriage, and we have 3 between the 2 of us.
How old are your 3 children that you share?
Currently, they are 15, 12, and 8.
How would you characterize the nature of your relationship with Ryan in general? I guess, was it good? Was it bad?
Generally speaking, I would call it good, normal.
We've seen some evidence that you guys had a few toys at the property. What did you guys have?
It depended on the year, but both Ryan and I kind of went through phases where one year we'd say, oh, we want to go camping, and we did camping for quite a while. We bought a couple of different campers. Then he would go through a motorcycle phase, and he bought and rebuilt a motorcycle, and then we were golfing the next year. And so we recycled a lot of toys and a lot of hobbies.
Okay.
At the time, we had snowmobiles and a Ranger, which is like a sport utility vehicle, like a 4x4 type of thing.
Okay. And so you had a shop already, right?
Correct.
And were you guys trying to build a second building?
A second and third, technically. The farm, like people have spoken about, he worked for Cooper Farms. The farm was putting up a large machine shed on the property, and we ourselves were putting up a smaller shed, machine shed of our own.
And what was the purpose of that smaller machine shed?
Ryan wanted to be able to pull semis into that building and work on them and clean them. He wanted an office. As he was taking on more responsibility with the farm, he was needing a little bit more of that space to do some, Michelle did the book work, but just to have an office space, I kind of overtook his first shop by him putting the barber shop in there, and then I started making soaps and candles, and I was kind of hogging in on his space, so it was kind of a joke that he said, okay, I'm going to build my own shop and get my own key for this one.
Okay. So you said he was working for Cooper Farms. What would his normal work day, like just in terms of hours?
Oh, geez, it could vary. They were long, almost year round. It was always long, because if they weren't in the field, he was trucking or working cattle. So some days could start as early as 4 a.m. If he started that early, he was usually done a little earlier, around 2, 3. Some days it was from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. It varied depending on what he was doing.
What about and I understand it probably has to do with the farm season, is that
Correct.
fair? Okay. So what about in June? Did he have like a more regular schedule in June?
June, the crops would have already been planted, and for a few years, probably more than I'm remembering, but he had started doing some what's called side dressing for the local agronomy company. I'm not real up on what that entailed, but it basically involved spraying crops. So in June, he was usually doing that. I cannot recall if he had started doing that or not at that time, but there's a good chance he was.
So if he's doing that type of work, what time is it still varying so much, or what time would he normally go to work?
He wouldn't probably start until, I would assume, when the agronomy company opened. I'm assuming around 8. If I had to try to guess, I'd say he'd leave around 7 in the morning, but he could be gone till fairly late at night.
I want to ask about his sleeping habits. Where did he normally sleep?
99% of the time he slept in the recliner in the living room.
And is he a heavy sleeper?
Yes and no. When he slept hard and snored hard, but he was up and down quite a bit throughout the night. He would sleep for a few hours, then wake up and watch some TV, and then sleep again.
Did he have any sort of a regular pattern to what time he might wake up?
It always seemed to me that he would fall asleep watching TV around the same time I was putting, excuse me, the kids to bed, so around 8. He might doze for a couple of hours. I would go to bed and read, and then I'd hear him up later watching TV around 11-ish, getting a snack in the middle of the night, and then back to sleep. And again, it kind of depended on what his work hours were. If it was a time when he was leaving the house at 4 a.m., he was tired at night and would sleep harder.
Okay. Tell me about this truck that he had. When did you guys get that truck?
Which truck? Semi-truck or pickup truck?
The pickup truck.
Well, there's a bit of a story behind that too, because he bought this dually pickup truck, a Ford F-450. It was before the derecho, whatever year that was.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Let me just ask you, so did you get that truck with the insurance money how was it paid for? That's what I'm trying to ask.
So like I was saying, he bought the first one before the derecho. It was ruined in the shed that came down in the derecho. He bought the exact same replacement truck and paid for a good portion of that with the insurance money from the first one. What remained that he owed on it, we financed through Chelsea Bank.
Okay. And what was the remaining balance on the truck at the time of Ryan's death, if you know?
I thought it was closer to 25,000, but Michelle, Ryan's sister, testified that it was 15. And given her accounting, I would assume that she is correct.
Tell me about, you guys, I mean, obviously you have to earn a living. How is Ryan getting paid for his work with the farms?
He was an hourly employee with the farm.
And do you have some sort of a farm loan, or
Yes.
describe what that is?
So although he was an employee of Cooper Farms, him and his brother Aaron they didn't buy, the farm bought about, I think it's 200 acres of land for Ryan and Aaron to farm together. Ryan wanted to start not branching out on his own, but we were in our 40s. He wanted to own some things of his own rather than just being an employee, excuse me. So they bought this piece of land that Ryan and Aaron rented from the farm with the agreement that they were basically renting to own it, was the way I understood it, that eventually they would own it.
Okay.
So any crops that were planted on that farm between Ryan and Aaron, they had to pay for the seed, the land rent, the fertilizer, the storage. They paid for all of that themselves, and the profit off of that was theirs, minus I think they had to pay the farm some usage for equipment, but I could be wrong about that.
Okay.
What we paid for that with was what's called an operating note from the bank.
Okay. And does part of that money with the operating note, is that how Ryan's truck gets paid down?
Yes, Ryan did most of the finances, but from what I kind of pieced together after, well, he did all of the finances, so I was basically lost. But what I pieced together after the fact was that I'm mistaken. It wasn't the farm note technically. He sold his grain from the year before and used that money to pay for part of the truck.
Okay.
Is my understanding.
Okay.
And I believe part of it may have come from the farm note as well, because it's a write-off for the farm. But like I said, that's just kind of what I've pieced together after the fact.
Okay. If you did want to buy something, would you have to clear that with Ryan?
If it was a large purchase, yes.
Okay.
Or sometimes even small ones, just for the fact that I didn't have the cash on hand. Like if the kids, we were going Halloween costume shopping, for example, or Christmas shopping.
Okay. What was your source of income at this time?
I owned a barbershop salon the outbuilding at our house
And we've seen some bank records. Did you overdraft a bunch?
all the time. Like I said, it was out of the house, and I kept the kids at home with me when they weren't in school, and it was just laziness or forgetfulness of taking a daily deposit into town to the bank.
Did you have any credit card debt at this time?
I didn't own a credit card. Ryan had one credit card that I guess you could say we shared.
Can you describe to me the nature of your relationship with Michelle Wilson? Were you two close?
I'm sorry, I have to go back on that last question you asked me.
Do you have something else to say about the credit card debt?
I do, I apologize. I think I had a couple of store cards, like Old Navy credit cards. I apologize.
Okay.
I just didn't want to leave that out.
So then with Michelle Wilson, were you guys close?
We got along well. We didn't see each other a whole lot. They've always lived further away.
How about Aaron Cooper? How often did you guys spend time with Aaron and his family?
Holidays, birthdays, occasionally we would just get together to have a few drinks, but given that him and Ryan worked together all the time, we didn't necessarily socialize a lot together, but we had a lot of the same friends, so it was occasional.
When you received the life insurance money, did you pay down any debts?
Several.
Okay. What debt did you pay?
First, I met with Brad Rund at Chelsea Bank regarding, I had some questions for him about the farm note. And while I was there, he told me that Ryan had a payment coming up on the dually pickup. And how that worked was, I think it was only a once or twice a year payment that he had to make, so it was a larger one. But he told me that it was close to being paid off, as well as my vehicle being close to being paid off. So I started with those, which I, again, thought his was more like 25,000, but it must have been 15. And I believe we owed about 8 on my car.
Okay. So did you pay those?
I paid those,
And then were there any other debts that you paid?
several.
What else did you pay for?
We had a $3,500 payment due to the lumberyard for some rafters for the shop that we were putting up. Those had already been delivered. I paid those off. My mind's going blank right now because I'm nervous.
Okay, that's all right.
There was several different, he had some credit card debt, not huge.
Okay. We heard some talk that you opened 2 storefronts in town. Where did you first work after Ryan's passing?
So after Ryan died, we basically lost our house, and that's where my barber shop was as well. So I rented a building space in town to put a barber shop in there. I spent some money bringing that up to date to work from,
Okay.
and that only lasted a couple of months.
And then did you have another storefront?
So then I was having a lot of trouble with the barber shop, being around people every day, strangers walking in, people wanting to talk about what happened. So a friend of mine that had a day salon or a day spa, a day spa in town, offered for me to move in with her. I wouldn't be able to cut hair there because they didn't have the setup for like the wet sink and things like that. But like I said, I was making soaps and shampoos and knick-knacky signs and lotions and things like that. So I moved into her place of business and set up a booth in her business.
Okay. So that place would not have been you didn't own that then?
No, and that's where I spent a fairly decent amount of money too, was renting, paying half the rent on that space and rent on a house in town.
At the time that you and Ryan were together, what kind of vehicle were you driving?
I was driving a Lincoln Navigator that was about 7 years old.
Did you blow through all the life insurance money?
No, I spent some of it paying off debts and renting a home.
Okay, I do want to also, did you have a dream at some point to do an embroidery business?
Ryan and I had talked about that a little bit when we were getting ready to put up the new shop and talking about how I had overtaken his shop. I had bought a Cricut. It's the vinyl cutting machines that you can make t-shirts with. I was kind of dabbling in that, and we had talked. Both of our moms are quilters, sewers. I wanted to buy an embroidery machine.
Okay. And did you end up buying one with some of the insurance money?
I did,
How much was that?
around $12,000.
And did you start an embroidery business?
I did.
Did you do that out of your home?
I did.
At the same time, are you still selling soaps and candles or no?
No. When we moved back out to the country to one of the homes that the Coopers own, I left that office or left that space. The gal that I was working with was thinking about moving into a more affordable building. It would have been a lot smaller. There wouldn't have been space for me. I was spending a lot more money in that space than I was making, so I decided to leave.
Okay. You mentioned moving around some. Where did you first move to after Ryan's passing?
We stayed with my brother and sister-in-law for a month or two, and then a friend of mine from Traer had a small 2-bedroom house that was it was tucked away in an alley. It was real private, and she offered it to us until we got on our feet. We lived there for a few months. It was very small for 4 of us to live in.
Okay.
And then we rented a larger house in town for about 6 more months after that.
And then eventually you end up back on one of the properties belonging to Cooper Farms?
Correct. About 8 months after Michelle and I had lunch, and she offered for us to move into one of the empty houses that Cooper Farms owns.
All right. Oh. May I approach, Your Honor?
You may. You don't need to ask again.
Showing you what I've marked as Defendant's Exhibit F. Do you recognize this?
I do.
Can you tell me, Jennifer, what is it?
It is a summary from Envision Wealth, which is a investment company.
Does it tell us how much money you got? Please don't say it.
It does.
And is this a fair summary of your financial standing with the?
With those investments, correct, yes.
All right, I ask to admit what's marked as Defendant's Exhibit F.
Any objection?
No objection.
Exhibit F is admitted.
Permission to publish.
You may. Is this on your side? All right.
It's their cable.
Okay. Gotcha. I think we're going to have to restart it to get it on the big screen. So just give me a second. Okay.
All right, I just want to kind of go through this a little bit. Defendant's Exhibit F. So this is showing us that your portfolio, at least as of April 30th, 2025, is worth $368,359.37. Is that right?
Sure, should be.
And I understand on the right-hand side here, we've got some fluctuations. Do you know, I mean, are you spending money or is that just the change in the markets?
That's the change in the markets. I don't pay attention to this. This is just put away and put in the trusting hands of a financial advisor.
Okay. What is your plan for this money?
This money, when I invested it, it's similar to what I would compare to a life insurance policy. You name beneficiaries of this, and I put this in my children's name. Because they're underage, I had to have a second, almost like an executor, I believe would be what it's called. And I appointed my brother, but this was set up as for the kids to be as beneficiaries, and once the estate, Ryan's estate was settled, it was going to be put in a trust for the 3 kids.
Okay. No, you can take that down.
Are we done with that?
Done with that one.
All right, thank you.
After Ryan's passing, I mean, how much are you earning each, like in 2022, how much money did you earn from your businesses?
From my businesses, none.
Okay, so you lost money,
I did,
and you still had 3 children to care for.
yes,
They cost money.
they do.
Tell me about, where would your children normally sleep at your house?
Before,
Before, yes.
the 2 younger ones, Cable and Cortland, were, well, Cortland was always in bed with me. Cable was usually in bed with me. It was kind of a back and forth trying to get him in. We had trouble getting any of the kids to sleep in their rooms. And Cade slept upstairs, or he would sleep on the couch downstairs.
Did you, at any point, did you bribe them that you'd paint the room a certain color if they'd sleep in their own room?
I did. We were doing some remodeling to the house, and that involved repainting everything before the carpet came. And I told the kids that throughout that summer, we would repaint and decorate their rooms however they wanted to, with the incentive to get them sleeping back in their rooms before school started.
And we've heard some testimony that there's lots of pictures on your phone of your children.
Yeah.
All right.
My
Like-
children and hair.
Okay. You like to post a lot of pictures of you and your children.
Yes.
You love your children.
Yes.
Showing you what I've marked as Defendant's Exhibit E. Recognize this?
Yes.
Who's this a picture of?
Myself and my babies.
You know when it was taken?
It was taken at Riley Storyhan's wedding the summer of 2024. 23, sorry.
Your Honor, we'd ask to admit what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit E.
Any objection?
No objection.
Exhibit E is admitted.
And permission to publish, please.
You may.
This. So can you just tell us who the 3 children are here?
On the left is my daughter, Cortland. Right next to me is my son, Cade. And on the right is my other son, Cable.
I know it's just your opinion, but were you a good mother?
I think a good mother thinks that she's a horrible mother. So yeah, I think I was a pretty good mom because I felt like I was screwing up all the time.
All right, we can take that down. You and Ryan, did you guys have a lot of friends?
Yeah, we did.
Can you just list off, I understand there was a pretty big friend group. Can you just list off the names, unless there's like 50, can you list off the names of your closest friends that you and Ryan shared?
To clarify, we had several friends, and we also had like different genres of friends that we hung out with, you know, depending on what we were doing. But some of our closest friends would have been Chris and Ashton Wilson, Bryant and Ashley Cheezick, Jamie and Carmen Earhart, Ewalts, Shettas, Kucheras.
Teresa McBride and Brian Morrison?
They were more like family. When I name family, I include them. Riley Storyhan was a close friend. Quite a diverse group, depending on what hobby we were doing at the time.
Okay. Did these people remain your friend for some time after Ryan's passing?
Some did.
Okay.
Most did.
Is it a fair assessment that sometimes when you were drinking, you became a Karen?
Yes.
All right. Based on your drunken behaviors of being a Karen, did any of your friends abandon you because of that prior to Ryan's passing?
No, they made T-shirts when we would go out with jokes about Karen on it, or it was a running joke. I don't handle alcohol the greatest, and yes, I can get ornery or loud, depending on, but it seemed to be more of a joke than.
Okay. In your marriage to Ryan, did you ever lay hands on him?
Never,
Did he ever lay hands on you?
never.
Heard a little bit of talk about Snapchat groups and whether you left them. Did you leave a bunch of Snapchat groups before?
No, I left one.
Okay. Which group did you leave?
It was called Six Pack. It was a golf group from a tournament we had played in the year before, and I wasn't playing in it that year, so I left it. There was.
Okay. All right. I want to touch briefly on the night of June 17th. Were you and Ryan at the sports complex?
Yes.
Who
with the
was all
kids.
there?
I'm sorry, what?
Who was all there with you in your group?
Ryan and myself and all three of the kids.
Did you guys
The
ride?
younger kids.
Did you guys ride together?
Yes,
And did you also drive home together?
yes.
Did you stop anywhere on the way home?
We went to Pizza Palace and got pizza to take home with us.
I don't remember what time you guys headed home. Do you know what time you headed home?
I thought it was around 8, according to the cell phone things yesterday. I believe we got home around 8:20.
And maybe you already said this. Did you take the pizza to go?
Yes,
All right. So you guys got home maybe around 8:20, and then I assume you're going to eat the pizza?
eating pizza and doing showers and baths, getting ready for bed.
And who is primarily responsible for getting the kids ready for bed?
That'd be me.
So is it fair to say you would be busy at that time with your children?
Yes.
And what time do you think they went to bed that night?
I'm not sure what time Cade went to bed, because when I laid down with the two younger kids, he was watching TV with Ryan. Cortland and Cable and I went to bed. Cortland was watching TV, Cable had his tablet, and I was reading. And I'm sorry, did you ask me what time that was?
Yes.
Probably, sorry, it was probably 9 o'clock or shortly after. 9:30 maybe.
I'm showing you State's Exhibit 211. Did you have a chance to look at that yesterday?
I did.
So is this your phone record?
Seems to be, yeah.
And you see the sticky with Houston's number on it?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, sorry.
Is that phone number on this call record?
It is not.
And we see some check marks next to some numbers, and it seems to be the same number. 319-231-3853. Do you know whose number that is?
I have no idea. It could be anybody's. My cell phone was used for my business phone as well, so it could literally be anybody's.
You ended up getting your own phone plan shortly after this. Can you tell us why?
Cade, our oldest son, was turning 12 years old, and we had decided to get him a cell phone. The farm paid for our cell phones at that time, but was not going to pay for their 15 grandchildren's cell phones. So I got my own plan so that I could put Cade on my cell phone plan, as well as my mother, to help her out a little bit financially. It made sense to do so because owning my own business, it was a write-off.
Approaching with State's Exhibit 206. Do you recognize these as the messages between you and Brad Rund?
I do.
I want to turn to the last page. On June 17th, did he schedule a hair appointment with you?
He did.
And when was he supposed to arrive for his hair appointment?
At 8:15 the morning of June 18th.
Did you schedule that?
I did.
Do you remember, did you have a couple of hair appointments scheduled for the morning of June 18th?
Yes, I have a customer that I've had for 23 years that was also my first grade teacher, and I did her hair every Tuesday and Friday morning at 8 o'clock in the morning.
You did her hair every Tuesday and Friday?
Every Tuesday and Friday.
Styling it then?
Yes, it was called a shampoo set. I would wash it, put it in rollers, put her under the dryer, and then style it. And she did that twice a week, and the world could come to an end and she would not miss her hair appointment.
All right. And June 18th of 2021 would have been a Friday?
Yes.
Tell me about Google searches about firearms research. Were you researching this hunter education website?
I wasn't researching it. I was enrolled in an online hunter safety course.
What was the purpose of you doing that?
The purpose of that was, again, Cade was turning 12 and he was able to take his hunter safety course at that time. Ryan took the boys hunting and I wanted to get my safety course as well so I could go with them. Or if Ryan was working, I could go sit with the boys while they hunted.
Can you tell us, I mean, were you aware that some of this was being done on a private browser?
Not particularly. I don't really know how all of that works, but it's very possible. And I took screenshots of several of the slides, I guess you would say, because at the end of each chapter, there was a test. And I took those screenshots to kind of help me cheat on the test because I wasn't doing very well.
Okay. Have you shot a rifle?
I have. It's been 25 years ago, but I have.
All right. Because you told the police that you'd never even shot a gun.
Yes.
That was not true.
That was not true, and the only thing I can say is in my head, I was thinking of handguns at the time. I have not shot a handgun. I have shot 2 long arm rifles in my lifetime.
Many years ago.
Many years ago, before I met my husband.
All right.
I have been around guns. I don't deny that.
The evening of June 17th, you guys went to baseball. Had you been drinking?
No,
Did you see Houston driving by your house?
no,
Did Houston pull into your driveway?
not that I'm aware of.
Did you know that Houston was stalking near your home?
That night, I was not aware of it. I was told at one point in time from him that he was going to Gladbrook, which requires driving by our house, but I didn't see him.
So you do admit that you had been texting Houston that night.
Yes,
And we've seen exhibits that are some of the Snapchats. Were there many more?
several before and after what they have shown you.
I want to talk about the relationship with Houston. How did you meet him?
Technically by cutting his hair. Like others have said, it's a small town. I knew of him for years, but I started cutting his hair is how I met him.
And how often would you cut his hair?
It varied. At first, I would call it on a regular schedule of maybe once a month. And then there became a time that he started getting his hair cut every 10 days, which was, in his words, following the footsteps of Brock Wilson, who he worked with at the time at Liquid Grow. They got their hair cut every 10 days, so it never looked like you got a haircut.
Okay. And how do we go from cutting his hair to Snapchat buddies?
Flirting a little bit when cutting his hair, talking about, he was having a lot of problems with his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, the mother of his child at the time. He only had one, was having some custody issues with her. He confided in me a lot about that, and I guess it kind of originated with me feeling like not a big sister, but an older person to him that has some experience in marriage and children, and just giving him advice and encouragement. And I felt kind of bad for him. He was young and had children, and other people his age didn't, and we became friendly first.
Okay. So, I mean, you raise a good point because he's much younger. So how do we get to Snapchatting Houston what we've seen?
Sometimes negative attention is still attention, and I was being showered with attention by him, being told I was beautiful and funny, and I would post pictures of the meal I had made that night for supper, and he'd praise it, or the garden that I planted, and he'd make a big deal out of, why can't I find a woman like that? And it became very flattering to me.
All right. So is it fair to say then Houston is maybe giving you some attention that you weren't necessarily getting from Ryan at that time?
Yes.
Was your relationship with Houston, was it primarily online then?
Yes, 99% online. Yes, I cut his hair, but that ended at one point, and the online relationship continued.
When did you stop cutting his hair?
In February of 2021. Even when I was still cutting his hair, it's odd because when I would cut his hair, we would talk about the same things that I would talk about with any other customers, family, work. It wasn't lewd. It wasn't flirtatious. That was when we Snapchatted at night, it was like we were shy in person, but became other people when we were texting each other.
Okay. So if you stopped cutting his hair in February of 2021, did you ever have him, after you stopped cutting his hair, did you ever have him over to your house?
Not after February, no.
Did you ever see him in person again between February and June?
One time briefly in Waterloo, he had sent me a message asking if I could get him some beard wash. It's shampoo for the beard. And I agreed. And I had told him that I had a birthday present for his son as well to give him. And I was going to Waterloo, and I told him I would meet him outside of Shoe Carnival in Waterloo. And I dropped those items off to him, and that was it.
Is that the last time that you would have seen him then, prior to Ryan's death?
Yes.
talked about a rogue, there's a message about a rogue semi-accident that we saw in the Snapchat. Did you want your husband dead?
No.
Why would you say that?
Because I have a really sick sense of humor sometimes, inappropriate humor, and I was probably angry. There were times that we weren't getting along the greatest, and like people have said, especially when I drink, I have a sharp tongue sometimes and can say nasty things.
I think there might have been conversations about divorce. Were you going to leave your husband?
I didn't plan on it. No, I didn't want to break up our family. Our relationship wasn't perfect, but I knew I didn't want to break up our family.
Saw a little bit in the Snapchat content about, was Houston jealous of your relationship with Ryan?
Houston acted like he was my husband and Ryan was my boyfriend. Like I was, if Ryan and I were together, he acted like I was sneaking around with my husband and cheating on him somehow.
Did Houston talk about killing Ryan?
Several times.
Did you ever take him seriously?
No, I thought he was full of crap. He liked to brag about how he knew powerful people and his dad knew dangerous people, and he insinuated that he had been involved in some other crimes.
But you didn't believe him?
No, he's got quite a reputation around town with women and telling tall tales.
If we had the other Snapchat content, would it show these things about Houston going off about Ryan?
Yes, several threats.
What would your reaction be when he's making these threats? How did you handle it?
Laughed it off, used sarcasm, sometimes replied inappropriately, like when he said one time, "Don't use your husband's truck in the morning, there's going to be a bomb planted under it." And I replied, "Gee, thanks for the heads up."
Yeah. Okay. So does that mean, though, do those messages mean that did you want your husband dead?
No.
Did you see Houston the night of June 17th into June 18th?
No.
I guess we do have these Snapchats about shell casings. What's going on?
Again, it's not the first time that had been talked about. I didn't take him seriously. He had made a comment before about walking into the shop. When Ryan was there, I was gone with the kids at the swimming pool. And he had made a comment. He said, "If you get home and find your husband dead, make sure you pick up those shells for me." And I had asked him, "What in the world, like LOL, what does that mean?" And he said, "Well, according to CSI, that's how they always catch the killer." So I took it as a joke.
Okay.
So it had been referenced before. It was 3:30 in the morning, like you said, and I said there were several messages before that he was very aggressive towards me that night and upset and angry. When those messages came through, I was more or less Snapchat. Like most of you know, once you open a message and you exit out, the Snapchat is gone. It's not like a text that you can go back and reread what was there. I halfway read messages, didn't always read them thoroughly, I wasn't paying attention, plain and simple.
And your belief, when you said go, did you believe that you said more?
I know I said more. I sent 3 messages in a row.
What did they say?
Go to sleep. 3 messages, like putting periods in between the words to emphasize go to sleep.
So, during the night then, I want to get to the part. What wakes you up?
Crashing noise.
Did your kids wake up at the crashing noise?
No,
Did your kids wake up at any gunshots?
no.
So you heard a crashing noise. What do you do?
I got out of bed and I stumbled on the dog at the end of the bed and I walked out of the bedroom. I walked into the bathroom because that's what I thought it was our shower caddy had fallen. It had fallen earlier in the week.
All right. Where did you go next?
I went to the kitchen next and looked out the window that is over the sink, which overlooks basically our driveway and front yard.
Did you see anybody out there?
I did not.
What did you do next?
Then I went and walked into the living room on the other side of the house to turn on, well, in all honesty, to yell at Ryan for not waking up with me, because my thought was, why isn't he up looking, like, how did he not hear that? So then I walked to the living room and turned on a lamp.
Was there some point that, we've heard that you said that you got up at some point and heard Ryan snoring. Is that a different time window then?
When I got up to go to the bathroom around what I thought was 3 o'clock in the morning, I heard him snoring regularly.
Okay.
When I was in the kitchen, I heard a single snore sound come from the living room.
Do you have your phone in your hand while you're walking, making these steps?
Most likely, yes.
So you get to the living room, you turn on the lamp. What happens?
I see Ryan, and then I see a large pool of blood. I shook his foot,
Okay.
and then I just started screaming.
And then how long are we waiting before we call Aaron Cooper?
It seemed like forever, but a couple of minutes. I ran back out of the living room through the dining room, and I was halfway up the steps when Cade was coming down the steps. I think I scared him because I remember him like turning around like he was gonna run away from me, like run back up the steps, and then he realized it was me, and I grabbed him and we went downstairs and I put him in the bedroom, and I went in the bedroom as well. And I believe that's where I called Aaron from, was the bedroom. So to answer your question, it was probably a couple of minutes, but it felt like a lifetime.
I want to ask you about State's Exhibit 313. Is this a fair, is this correct?
I wish my bathroom was that big. No, it's not.
Okay. So what they labeled as hallway, can you tell us what that room was?
So what they labeled as hallway is actually a dining room that I used as a sewing room because we called it the wasted room. It was just a room in the center of the house.
Okay. And so is the sewing room, dining room, is it bigger than this?
Yes, much.
I mean, if we're going to talk about a scale like this, so it would be taking up some of the space that this has labeled.
Over half of it.
And when I think we saw Detective Fangman's body cam, we can see him go through these rooms.
Yes.
I want to know, is this door, this mudroom door, is that the door that was most frequently used when people would come over?
Yes.
Do you know whether this front door on the steps, do you know whether that door was locked?
I can't say for sure. I made the assumption that it was locked. It was a newer door, and it was the type of door that even if it's locked, you can open it from the inside. I'd be fairly confident that it was locked.
All right.
However, like I've said before, the kids ran in and out of that door a lot to go outside to play. The dog was let in and out of that door a lot, but you're always opening it from the inside. So I can't say for certain if it'd be locked from the outside.
Okay. You have the baby gate on the steps. What was it for?
It was to keep the dog off of those steps because he would sit at the screen door, and that's why the storm door was up, because he had ripped through the screen door, pawing, begging to come inside. So we put that baby gate up to keep him off that landing.
Okay. I guess returning then to when we're calling Aaron, can you tell us why you called Aaron instead of 911 first?
Aaron lives less than a mile from us. Aaron is a first responder. Aaron is the person closest to us that I would trust in a time of emergency. I called him because I was panicking, and I wanted him there because I thought somebody might still be around.
Do you have those pictures? Yeah, the ones that I took of her. Did you, in that living room, did you search for any shell casings?
No,
Did you dispose of any shell casings?
no,
Were you deleting pictures on your phone that morning?
no,
So do you have any explanation for why your phone records would show that?
none. Unless I did, I don't know if there's a time relay on it. You know, if it was something that was, if you like delete a picture and then it sits for however long before it's permanently deleted. I don't know how all that works, if that is a possibility, but I was not deleting pictures at the time.
Okay. Then when the police get there, why didn't you tell them, Houston shot my husband?
I was so scared. I was scared. I was panicked. I instantly thought I was being set up in one of his plots that he laid out all the time through Snapchat. I panicked.
And then did you continue to lie to law enforcement for years?
I did. I was also being threatened by Houston for over a year and a half afterwards.
What was he threatening you with?
Beginning in September so it'd be September of 2021, he started sending me Snapchats that he knew where I was at. The first one, we were at, everybody's been talking about shops, how many of our friends have shops. Some friends of ours, Ethan and Abby Charlie, have a shop in town. He does air conditioning and heating work. We had been at Chris and Ashton's house, the kids and I, and we went into their shop, and the kids were all playing. We were having a few drinks, and while we were all there, I got a Snapchat from Houston that I was now screwing Ethan Charlie and Chris Wilson, and I would screw anything that moved and took care of me because we were there. That was the first of them, and then there were several after. One time he sent me a Snapchat describing what I was wearing when I went out to do cow chores that morning.
So he was continuing to watch you after June 18th.
He was watching me and reminding me about these dangerous people that he knew, and that he knew how to take care of problems, and that he would take out anybody else that was necessary.
So did your online emotional affair, did it continue after June 18th?
No.
Didn't you cut Houston's hair one time after Ryan died?
I did.
When was that?
That was in September, right before the first Snapchat came. He had messaged me a couple times asking if I would watch his kids. Harvest was starting and he claimed that he didn't have a babysitter and can you watch the kids? And I told him no. And then he started hounding me about, can you cut my hair? I have this event this weekend and I don't have time to get it cut because of Harvest. And he kept hounding me and I was a little nervous of the consequences if I ignored him. So I agreed to go to the shop that I had opened in town and cut his hair.
Okay, so this would have been in town now.
Yes, my mom came over to stay with the kids and I went up and cut his hair. Of course, I didn't tell anybody whose hair I was cutting until after.
Did he threaten you when you saw him that day too?
He did.
Did you ever see him again?
No.
We do also want to touch on the affair with Houston. At one point, did it become physical?
There was one physical encounter, yes. That was the last time that I cut his hair.
Not in September of 2021.
No, not that last time. I'm sorry. The last time I cut his hair before he killed Ryan, it would have been in February. I cut his hair and we had sex.
And then you stopped cutting his hair? What was the purpose? Why did you stop cutting his hair?
Because I had sex with him and I didn't want him around and I didn't want that chance of that happening ever again. It was an online fantasy, like going to a chat room or playing video games where you steal cars and shoot at cops. It was an online fantasy thing, and when it became a physical in-person thing, I was disgusted and scared of losing my husband.
After, were your kids all interviewed by law enforcement?
Yes,
All three of them?
yes.
And you allowed them to be interviewed?
Well, with some argument, I was being pretty heavily accused by the police of involvement, and they wanted to question the kids. My brother and close friend Chris Wilson suggested that I get an attorney to protect all of us and make sure that the kids had
Okay,
proper representation if they were going to be questioned.
okay. But they were ultimately questioned?
They were.
Ryan was killed with your 3 children home. Would you ever orchestrate the murder of your husband with your 3 kids home?
Never.
Did you participate in the death of your husband?
No.
Yes. One moment, please. Showing you what I'm going to mark this as exhibits G, H, I, and J. Do you recognize these pictures?
Yes,
Were those taken of you the morning of June 18th
they were.
by law enforcement?
Yes.
That's what I said. G-H-I-N-J. Your Honor, I'd ask to admit into evidence what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit G, H, I, and J.
Any objection?
No objection.
Then defendants exhibits G, H, I, and J are now admitted. Ms. Water, you wanting to publish these?
Yes. No, I'm not publish them. Why isn't it? You've just decided which one. I didn't. That would be cheap. Just. That's fine. Yeah. Okay, we're ready.
You're still using that cord, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, showing you Defendant's Exhibit G. In this photo, there's no longer any blood on your face. Can you tell us why?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Can you tell us why there's not blood on your face?
My sister-in-law was consoling me, and my mom saw the blood on my face, and she went into my salon and got a towel and wiped my face off.
Did your mom wipe off any other part of your body?
No. Not that I remember.
Okay. Did you, at any point upon seeing your husband, did you ever go wash up?
No.
Yes, you can take it down. Thank you, Your Honor. I don't have any other questions. Thank you, Karina.
Mr. Kodiaga, cross-examination?
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Cooper, can you hear me well?
I can't.
Your husband, Ryan Cooper, was killed in his own house, correct?
Correct.
The place where he's meant to be safest.
Correct.
The place where considered his castle, correct?
Sure. Yes.
Place where his children slept.
Yes.
Children that he loved dearly.
We both did, yes.
children that Ryan Cooper loved dearly.
Yes.
Was killed while he slept,
Yes.
while he snored in his sleep.
Yes.
You state you loved Ryan Cooper.
Yes.
You loved him
Yes.
very much.
Yes.
You had a lover.
That's what you call him. Yes.
What do you call him?
I called him an online inappropriate relationship. When I hear lover, I assume sexual partners. It's just the way I perceive it.
Judge, let's hope this works.
Are you wanting to publish something?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what is it that we're publishing?
State Exhibit 194. Are you able to read that, Ms. Cooper?
I am.
You have a screen next to you.
Okay. I can see it. I'm afraid to move it.
You don't deny you sent that first text on March 8th of
I do not
2021.
deny that, no.
Pardon?
I did send that, yes.
Can you read it?
Read it. I just read this 10 times, I swear, with
left
heart
out-
emojis. I'm sorry, what?
You left out a love emoji.
I just read this 10 times, heart emoji.
Okay.
I swear, heart emoji. And just felt even harder for you, which I don't think I could have been any more crazy over you than I already was. That book is everything I've ever wanted to hear. You can do anything you want with those boys. You're their daddy. Don't need mom's permission. Cable wants to get back to wrestling. He loves it. He just got his ass kicked at a tournament and is scared to compete now. Just wants to go to practice. Doesn't want to lose. And you know what the sperm donor said to him after he got his ass handed to him? Not a fucking word other than it happens. Not let's go home and I'll show you how to get out of that move. Just it happens. They need you so badly. Kate is your football and baseball kid. Kid can throw a damn ball.
The person you just referred to as a sperm donor, that's your husband,
Yes.
Ryan Cooper, who you tell this jury you loved so dearly. That's how you showed your love to Ryan Cooper, correct?
I think we all call the people that we love names at times.
I asked you, is it a yes or no question?
Yes.
Okay. And you're sending this to Houston Danker, the man you now call your online lover?
Yes.
Your husband is a sperm donor.
That's what I referred to him as, yes.
You also told him the kids are yours.
All part of the fantasy.
Is that a yes or no?
It's hard to say yes or no. I feel like that's black or white and there's a gray area.
Ms. Cooper, did you hear my question?
I did. So yes, if it must be yes or no, then yes, I clearly said it.
Can you read the next message on the March 8th at 7:03 a.m.?
Your Honor, just to correct the record, I do believe this is Defendant's Exhibit A, not State's Exhibit 194.
Defense Exhibit A.
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Good morning, baby. You would have woke up to your horny wife's hand wrapped around your dick this morning, just so you know.
And who are you sending this to?
I'm sorry, what?
Who are you sending this to?
To Houston Danker.
The man you're just telling this jury that you're terrified of.
I wasn't terrified of him at this time, no.
When did you start being terrified of him?
After he killed my husband.
Also, this time you're not terrified of him in March.
No.
And so Houston Danker would have woken up to your hand, your honey hands around his day, correct?
That's what I wrote.
That's what you wrote to him.
Correct.
You are the one who initiates that conversation.
What's that?
You're the one who sends that conversation.
Yes.
A minute later, you write to him expressing thoughts of death to the man that you claim you love called Ryan Cooper. Correct?
I wrote, here's hoping for a rogue semi today. Big accident, no survivors.
Big accident, no survivors.
That's what I wrote.
Your mind, and you should say your mind is pretty dark and twisted, correct?
That's what I wrote in the next message, yes.
We can turn on the lights.
And just to be clear, for the record, again, you mentioned it, Ms. Watt, but this shows State's Exhibit 194. There is no State's Exhibit 194 that has been admitted. It's identical to what the Ms. Cooper had admitted as Exhibit A. So just so everybody's clear on that. Is that correct, Ms. Watt?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Kodiak, is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. You can go ahead, Mr. Kodiak.
On the same day that your mind is pretty fucking dark and twisted, you write to Houston Danker.
Objection, Your Honor, asked and answered.
I'm still asking the question.
Not sure the question isn't finished, so go ahead.
On that same day, when your mind is pretty fucking dark and twisted, you write to Houston Danker and you say, oh, I don't want to wait another summer. Correct?
Yes.
Your husband, Ryan Cooper, was killed just on the eve of summer, correct?
At the beginning of summer in June, yes.
In June, correct?
Correct.
The same message, 10 o'clock, that same morning, where you want him dead by a rogue semi-accident. No survivors. You write to him, to Houston Danker, and you're talking about the blinds blowing, making the sheets chilly, and dreaming of sleeping and enjoying the lightning and the nights with Houston Danker. Correct?
That's in the message, yes.
You tell him the same day that you want a partner, not another child. You're referring to Ryan Cooper as another child.
Yes.
That's the same man you've told this jury was a hard worker who worked from can't see in the morning to can't see in the night
He was.
and will fall asleep so tired because of his hard work.
Yes.
That's the man you refer to your lover as another child.
Yes.
On the 12th of March, you write to Houston Danker that you might be pregnant this time next year, and you send 3 heart emojis. And he responds by saying, "Would love you to be pregnant next year for him." Correct?
That's what's written.
That's what you wrote.
Yes,
You yourself wrote those words, correct?
I assume so. I don't have it in front of me, and I can't remember precisely, but I'm going to assume you're correct.
Do you want me to put it up?
Not necessary.
In fact, at that time you talked about IVF.
Yes,
He doesn't know what IVF is, and you have to explain to him what IVF is,
I did.
where they plant your sperm and my egg, correct?
correct.
Not the old-fashioned way, but our baby. Right? That's what you tell him.
Correct.
Your husband, Ryan Cooper, had life insurance where you were the sole beneficiary, correct?
Yes, we both had policies.
I asked you just about Ryan Cooper. You are the beneficiary if Ryan Cooper were to drop dead.
Yes,
You would stand to earn a substantial amount of money, correct?
yes,
Over $500,000, correct?
correct.
More than one occasion, you told Ryan Cooper that you hated him.
Yes,
In front of friends, you told Ryan Cooper that you'd shoot him in the face.
I deny ever saying that.
Was that when you were Karen, when you said, "I'd shoot you in the face"?
I never said that.
Karen did?
Karen did not say it either. It was not said.
Cade Cooper is your eldest child with Ryan.
Yes,
Cade loved his dad.
all three of them did. Yes,
Cade Cooper loved his dad.
yes,
He slept on the couch next to his dad as dad slept on the recliner.
that's not why he slept on the couch, no.
Just asked you a question, yes.
So the
or
answer
no.
is no.
That's not why, because he didn't love his dad, or slept on the couch because he didn't love his dad?
Well, which question is it? Why did he sleep on the couch or did he love his dad? Because yes, he loved his dad.
Okay.
And yes, he slept on the couch.
Next to his father.
Yes,
On the night that Ryan Cooper's life was taken away from him, Cade was not on the couch next to his father.
he was when I went to bed.
When Ryan Cooper's life was taken away from him, Cade was not on the couch next to his father.
No, he was not.
And you know that because, as you've said before, you were up at 3 o'clock and you went to the living room where Ryan Cooper slept on his recliner, and Ryan Cooper was the only one there. Cade was not.
Correct.
So at 3 in the morning, you are aware that Cade Cooper is not on the couch.
Correct.
At 3:30, that morning at 3:32, 30 minutes after you are aware that Kate Cooper is not on the couch, you send a heart emoji to Houston Danker.
Yes.
If you may have the screen again.
Just
And what I'm going to show you is what was marked as State 195 was not admitted, but is admitted as defense, I believe, B. So for the record, this is defense B. It's the same document. Can you see this, Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
The 17th of June, 10:19 a.m. A day later, Ryan Cooper will be dead. You're talking to Houston Danker, correct?
Correct.
Can you see in that document where you're saying to him, just be prepared for your wife to constantly be tearing something apart and redoing it?
Yes.
You refer to yourself as your wife.
Yes.
Ryan Cooper is still alive at that point, working from Kansas in the morning to Kansas in the night, correct?
Yes.
Busy,
Usually, yes.
being a farmer.
Yes.
Houston Danker replies to you. Can you read what Houston Danker replies after you talk about being his wife?
He wrote, "Not worried about that one bit. You got to see me in my underwear this morning, and I haven't gotten to see you."
You got to see him in his underwear that morning.
He
Didn't
sent
you?
a Snapchat of it, yes.
Is that a yes? You got
Yes.
and you respond by saying,
Train wreck.
what is the next text message and who sends it?
That he sends,
Yeah.
"Going to sleep with my hand on your pussy very soon."
Going to sleep with my hand on your P word very soon, correct?
Correct.
And what's your response?
"Soaked just thinking of you. Will be downright embarrassing when I have you in person." Excuse me, when I actually have you in person.
That's hours before your husband will be lying dead in his house.
It's at 11:19 a.m. on June 17th.
So in the next coming hours, your husband will be killed in your house
He was.
with you present in the house.
Yes.
You send a text message to your lover saying, I will be your wife. And he tells you very soon he will have his hands on your most private of parts. And that same night, your husband is dead.
That and many others, yes.
Let's go back to the 3 o'clock time clock. You see Kate Cooper away from his couch in the living room.
He was up in his bed, yes.
And at 3:31, 31 minutes later, you send a heart emoji, correct?
Correct.
What does Houston respond?
He responds, "Seriously, more than fucking life."
And what is your response?
Forever.
3:31 and 29 seconds later, what is Houston Danker's response to you?
Houston says, more than anything, okay, babe, phone's going down. Send me something after I leave your house to then wait for me to open it. Deal?
More than anything, okay, babe. It refers to you in a term of endearment, babe. Of course, we know that by now, but it says phone's going down. And you need to send him something after I leave your house
That's what he said.
to then wait for me to.
I don't know what happened. Wait a minute, y'all. Whoa. I'm worried about this F-bomb coming. Wait a minute. We won't miss a minute of this. I don't know why I just cut off like that. Hold on, hold on, hold on. No, no, no. I got you, Betty. Wait a minute. No, no, no. Oh boy. No, no, no. Wait a minute. Boy. Well, at least you can hear me. I know that's not the priority, but wait a minute. I don't know why.
Was a hard worker who worked from can't see in the morning to can't see in the night
He was.
and will fall asleep so tired because of his hard work.
Yes,
That's the man you refer to your lover as another child.
yes.
On the 12th of March, you write to Houston Danker that you might be pregnant this time next year, and you send 3 heart emojis. And he responds by saying, "Would love you to be pregnant next year for him." Correct?
That's what's written.
That's what you wrote.
Yes,
You yourself wrote those words, correct?
I assume so. I don't have it in front of me, and I can't remember precisely, but I'm going to assume you're correct.
Do you want me to put it up?
Not necessary.
In fact, at that time you talked about IVF.
Yes,
He doesn't know what IVF is, and you have to explain to him what IVF is,
I did.
where they plant your sperm and my egg, correct?
correct.
Not the old-fashioned way, but our baby. Right? That's what you tell him.
Correct.
Your husband, Ryan Cooper, had life insurance where you were the sole beneficiary, correct?
Yes, we both had policies.
I asked you just about Ryan Cooper. You are the beneficiary if Ryan Cooper were to drop dead.
Yes,
You would stand to earn a substantial amount of money, correct?
yes,
Over $500,000, correct?
correct.
More than one occasion, you told Ryan Cooper that you hated him.
Yes.
In front of friends, you told Ryan Cooper that you'd shoot him in the face.
I deny ever saying that.
Was that when you were Karen, when you said, I'd shoot you in the face?
I never said that.
Karen did?
Karen did not say it either. It was not said.
Cade Cooper is your eldest child with Ryan.
Yes.
Cade loved his dad.
All three of them did. Yes.
Cade Cooper loved his dad.
Yes.
He slept on the couch next to his dad as dad slept on the recliner.
That's not why he slept on the couch, no.
Just asked you a question. Yes.
So the
or
answer
no.
is no.
That's not why, because he didn't love his dad, or slept on the couch because he didn't love his dad?
Well, which question is it? Why did he sleep on the couch, or did he love his dad? Because yes, he loved his dad.
Okay.
And yes, he slept on the couch.
Next to his father.
Yes.
On the night that Ryan Cooper's life was taken away from him, Cade was not on the couch next to his father.
He was when I went to bed.
When Ryan Cooper's life was taken away from him, Cade was not on the couch next to his father.
No, he was not.
And you know that because, as you've said before, you were up at 3 o'clock and you went to the living room where Ryan Cooper slept on his recliner, and Ryan Cooper was the only one there. Cade was not.
Correct.
So at 3 in the morning, you are aware that Cade Cooper is not on the couch.
Correct.
At 3:30, that morning at 3:32, 30 minutes after you are aware that Cade Cooper is not on the couch, you send a heart emoji to Houston Danker.
Yes.
If you may have the screen again.
Just
And what I'm going to show you is what was marked as State 195 was not admitted, but is admitted as defense, I believe, B. So for the record, this is defense B. It's the same document. Can you see this, Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
The 17th of June, 10:19 a.m. A day later, Ryan Cooper will be dead. You are talking to Houston Danker, correct?
Correct.
Can you see in that document where you're saying to him, just be prepared for your wife to constantly be tearing something apart and redoing it?
Yes.
You refer to yourself as your wife.
Yes.
Ryan Cooper is still alive at that point, working from Kansas in the morning to Kansas in the night, correct?
Yes.
Busy,
Usually, yes.
being a farmer,
Yes.
Houston Danker replies to you. Can you read what Houston Danker replies after you talk about being his wife?
He wrote, "Not worried about that one bit. You got to see me in my underwear this morning and I haven't gotten to see you."
You got to see him in his underwear that morning,
He
didn't
sent
you?
a Snapchat of it, yes.
Is that a yes? You got
Yes.
to, and you respond by saying,
Train wreck.
what is the next text message and who sends it?
That he sends,
Yeah.
"Going to sleep with my hand on your pussy very soon."
Going to sleep with my hand on your P word very soon, correct?
Correct.
And what's your response?
"Soaked just thinking of you. Will be downright embarrassing when I have you in person." Excuse me, when I actually have you in person.
That's hours before your husband will be lying dead in his house.
It's at 11:19 a.m. on June 17th.
So in the next coming hours, your husband will be killed in your house
He was.
with you present in the house.
Yes.
You send a text message to your lover saying, I will be your wife. And he tells you very soon he will have his hands on your most private of parts. And that same night, your husband is dead.
That and many others, yes.
Let's go back to the 3 o'clock time clock. You see Karina Cooper away from his couch in the living room.
He was up in his bed, yes.
And at 3:31, 31 minutes later, you send a heart emoji, correct?
Correct.
What does Houston respond?
He responds, "Seriously, more than fucking life."
And what is your response?
Forever.
$3:31 and 29 seconds later, what is Houston Danker's response to you?
Houston says, "More than anything, okay, babe, phone's going down. Send me something after I leave your house to then wait for me to open it. Deal?"
More than anything, okay, babe. It refers to you in a term of endearment, babe. Of course, we know that by now, but it says phone's going down. And you need to send him something after I leave your house
That's what he said.
to then wait for me to open it. Deal? And what is your response?
I replied, "Deal."
You were asked by your counsel whether you would orchestrate a murder with your children in your house. And you said you wouldn't, correct?
Correct.
You understand what to orchestrate is, don't you?
Yes, I do.
You do?
You said I understand what to orchestrate is?
Yeah.
Yes.
So when he says, phone, send me something after I leave your house, your response is, deal.
That's what I said.
Who sends the emoji of a kiss?
I can't tell by looking at this. Let me 1DF. Judging by the numbers on the other ones, that would be me.
So you not only say deal, but you seal your deal with a kiss.
I wasn't sealing my deal, but I sent a kiss emoji.
Then he says, remember those casings. Fucking remember those. No ifs, ands, or buts.
That's what he said.
There's no ignorance on your part when he tells you to remember those casings. You know what those casings are because you say, absolutely, 100%.
That was the Snapchat I sent, yes.
Absolutely 100%. Correct?
Correct.
It cannot be clearer than that.
Objection argumentative.
Sustained.
When you say absolutely 100%, you are as clear as possible on what you will remember.
No,
That's what you write, Ms.
that's
Cooper.
what I wrote.
Then he tells you, okay, phone's going down. I love you. And
That's what
what's
you
your
wrote.
response?
My response is, I love you too.
What does he say?
So much.
And what do you say?
Forever.
When you say forever to the man who said, I'm coming to your house and you need to send me a message so that I can open it when I get back, what does he respond to you once you say forever to him?
He responds, okay, babe, seriously putting the phone down. Have to get this shit done. I love you.
And what do you say to him?
I say, go to sleep.
Ms. Cooper, you can read what's in front of you.
This reads, go.
So you say to him, go.
That's not what I said to him.
What you
That
read,
is what this reads.
again, what we read in front of you, that's this exhibit that the jury is reading, is you say, go.
Yes.
That's at 3:32 in the morning.
Correct.
An hour later, at 4:42, Houston Danker will send you a message that says, yep, just woke up.
That's what this says. I never saw it.
At 4:42, when Houston Danker is sending you this message saying, yep, just woke up, a Tama County deputy is walking in your house because your husband is dead.
Is that a question?
It is.
I don't know for certain on the timeline, but yes.
An hour after you saying go, your husband, you're calling the cops because your husband is dead.
Around 4:30 a.m., yes, I'm calling 911 because my husband is dead.
So that's an hour after you saying go or thereabouts.
That's what this says, yes, but if you're asking if I knew the specific time, no.
Mr. Codiaga, we've been going for a little over an hour and a half at this point. I think we're going to take a break. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our mid-morning break at this time. So, again, I just remind you of the admonition that I've given you previously, and we'll take approximately, again, a 15-minute break. All right?
Okay, so they We're taking a 15-minute break on issues that we had earlier. Thank y'all so much for hanging in here with me. I truly appreciate it. Out of all the days, everything wants to not work, and hopefully y'all can hear me. But with that being said, I am going to, we got our TiVo time, right? So we good with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward us, and I'm so mad that they stopped him. No, she's going to talk to her defense. She's going to go talk to her attorneys, right? The defense, and they about to help her. No, 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 no. Here we go.
Miss Cooper, can you hear me still pretty well?
I can.
When you testified, to be clear, you testified earlier on when your counsel asked you questions, and you stated you weren't seeing Houston Danker, claimed you weren't seeing him from February or March, or February, I guess, because you'd had sex and you didn't want to break up your family.
Correct. Excuse me. Correct.
You didn't want to break up your family.
Correct.
And yet, you are the same person texting Houston Danker and telling him you will be his wife, correct?
Those are the texts I sent, yes.
This story that you told the jury this morning, that you're terrified of Houston Danker, you never told it to Deputy Fangman, who arrived in your house as the first deputy.
No.
Was there for a substantial amount of time trying to find out what had happened to your husband. You never told him that Houston Danker shot him.
I did not.
Deputy Foster was the following deputy who came to your house. Your husband is still sitting, sleeping on his recliner, dead. And your children are crying and traumatized. You never said Houston Danker did it.
I did not.
Your mother comes. Aaron Cooper comes. You never say, Aaron, Houston Danker did it.
No, I did not.
That's the Aaron Cooper, the man who you believed would protect you, and he did, in fact, protect you because he came armed with a gun. Correct?
Correct.
He didn't even have time to put on his shirt when you called him because that's what he did. He wanted to protect.
Correct.
You never mentioned the name of Houston Danker.
I did not.
Same morning, your husband, Ryan Cooper's body is lying cold in his house. You are interviewed by DCI agent Ryan Harmon, correct?
Yes.
You know why they were interviewing you, correct?
Yes.
You never mentioned any of these texts or Snapchats that you sent at 3:30 in the morning.
No,
You never mentioned that I texted go.
that's not what I text. No, I did not mention it. I'm sorry, no.
You never mentioned that at 3:31, you sent a heart emoji to Houston Danker.
I did not. I did not mention that.
In fact, it's Agent Harmon who brings up the name Houston Danker.
Yes,
And your reaction as the jury saw is, are you incredible Agent Harmon Danker? That's what you say to him, right?
what did you,
You saw that video. When
yes, I saw the video. I didn't understand what you just said.
Your reaction is Danker?
Correct.
And you immediately tell Agent Hammond that he's a kid,
He's a
correct?
what?
That he's just a young man, a kid who you know about.
Yes, that's what I said.
Not what you're telling this jury today that, oh, I was so terrified of him.
Yes.
Never mentioned any of that to Agent Hammond.
No, I did not.
In fact, you tell Agent Herman, this is dumb, when he starts his line of questioning of Houston Danker.
I did.
You characterize it as dumb.
That's what I said.
Your husband is lying in his house cold. Correct?
My husband is,
Withdrawn. Withdrawn.
Ryan was dead at that time, yes.
The next day, an autopsy is performed on your husband. The same agent meets you again
Yes.
and talks to you. Correct?
Yes.
Wants to find out what happened to your husband, who you claim to this jury that you loved so dearly. Correct?
I don't know what he wanted to find out.
Well, he wanted to find out what happened to him.
I would assume so, yes.
You assume?
That's his job, is what I'm saying, yes.
He wanted to find out what happened to Ryan Cooper.
Yes.
It's not an assumption. Correct?
Yes. I'm sorry, I guess I'm misunderstanding some of what you're saying. Did he tell me I want to find out? I don't know. But yes, that's his job, so that's why he was there, yes.
And you did not tell him what happened to Ryan Cooper.
No.
You did not tell him that Houston Danker has been threatening my life.
No.
You did not tell him that I've been sending him messages where I want to hold his dick.
No.
In fact, you denied any affair with Houston Danker,
I did.
whether it's online, whether it's in person, whether it's in any shape or manner, correct?
Correct.
In 2 years pass. It's May of 2023. You talk to Agent John Talbot.
Yes.
When you talk to Agent John Talbot, it's at your farm or Ryan's farm where he lived and where he died, correct?
Correct.
When you're talking to Agent Talbot in May of 2023, you know very well that he's investigating what happened to Ryan Cooper that night.
Yes.
You have a conversation with Agent Talbot that spans 3 hours.
Yes.
He tells you, no detail is too small. Tell me everything.
Correct.
He asks you about Houston Danker.
He did.
You saw him testify here, I believe last week or sometimes in this trial, correct?
Correct.
You knew he was a DCI agent, a sworn peace officer in the state of Iowa who wants to find out what happened to the man that you now claim you loved so dearly, correct?
Yes.
When the name Houston Danker comes up, you don't tell him what you told this jury this morning, do you?
No.
You don't mention that Houston Danker had been sending you some messages that are threatening that have just somehow disappeared, correct?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand you.
You don't tell him that Houston Danker has been sending you some messages that were very threatening that somehow disappeared.
No.
You don't tell him that Houston Danker wanted to harm your children.
No.
You also don't tell him that you wanted to have children with Houston Danker.
No.
You don't tell him that a year after Ryan Cooper's death, you are planning to have a child with Houston Danker.
Because I was not.
You don't tell him that you are planning to do IVF and that you have to explain to Houston Danker what IVF means.
No, I did not tell him about those Snapchats.
You don't tell him that you're preparing to be Houston Danker's wife and that you'll be tearing down things and that Houston Danker will need to be able to fix them up.
I told him about none of the Snapchats.
You don't tell him that on the night of Ryan Cooper's death, that an hour before Aaron Cooper is called, you were texting Houston Danker and telling him absolutely 100%, I'll remember to pick the shell casings.
I did not.
In these 3 hours that he's talking to you, you don't mention the story you've told today, correct?
Correct.
In fact, you chase him out of your property.
I told him to leave.
And you tell him to leave and you're going to get a private investigator to crack this crime because this DCI agent Talbot and the other DCI agents can't crack it because they don't know what they're doing, right?
Those were not my words.
But you tell him you'll get a private investigator.
My words were different if you'd like me to tell you what they were.
Do you tell him?
I said, maybe it's time to get a private investigator.
Why are you getting a private investigator?
I don't know. Frustration. I was frustrated.
You don't know why you're getting a private investigator.
Well, to solve Ryan's murder.
When you are the one who hasn't told this same agent what happened to Ryan and what you'd been doing with Houston.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
You want a private investigator to solve what happened, yet you have an agent who you're not telling your activities with Houston Danker.
I did not tell him my activities, no.
At that point, you knew what had happened, correct?
I did. Well,
And yet you tell him that if you knew what had happened, or if you knew, and your words, the person who did this, you will be in jail because you would have hurt that person or killed that person, correct?
that's what I said.
And you use an explicit, you swear at that point when you say you will be in jail because that motherfucker will know what's coming, correct?
I said I would kill the motherfucker myself.
I have no further question for this witness.
Ms. Watt, redirect.
We have a portion of the Snapchat messages, right?
Correct.
Were there many other messages between you and Houston?
Hundreds.
On the evening of June 17th, so while you're at the ball field, did Houston get angry with you?
He did.
About what?
I had posted a video on my Snap story of Kate batting. And you could hear Ryan's voice in the background, and he sent me a snap, very angry because I was at the ball field with my husband, again, like I was cheating on him with my husband.
Okay. So then, did you two have an argument?
We did. Several snaps were exchanged, arguing.
So the day of June 17th, while we have some of these snaps, it's not all, the whole conversation, it's not all lovey-dovey type message.
No.
You knew these things for so long. Why didn't you tell the police that Houston Danker killed your husband?
Several reasons. I was scared. I was scared of Houston. I was scared of the police. I was scared. I was scared that I had lied for so long because I felt like I was being set up. I felt like no matter what, I was screwed, for lack of a better term. I was scared of the threats that he was making to my kids and my friends. And I felt that if I kept my mouth shut, he'd leave us alone.
I don't have any other questions. Thank you, Karina.
Ms. Kodiak, anything further?
You claim, you tell this jury that Houston Danker was mad at you that night at the ball game, Ryan Cooper's last ball game, seeing his children, correct?
Yes.
So as Ryan Cooper's watches the last ball game of his children and Houston is mad at you, he sent you a text for that?
Houston did?
Yeah.
Several.
And that's the same night where at 3:32 in the morning, you send Houston Danker a heart emoji.
Correct.
The same night he was mad at you, you send him at 3:32 a heart emoji.
Correct.
I have no further questions.
Anything further?
No, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Cooper. You may step down.